Surely by now we're alive, right? Surely we are. So I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to just see if anybody shows up or not. This is the only way that I can get myself to fix these issues. Because, okay, let's just dive right into it. The issue I've been having, you can actually see relatively easily. I am now live. I am aware. I just went live. I should have definitely disabled those notifications. But hey, the fuck do you know? Let's see, if you go into my hallway test level, right? Let's do that real quick so I can show you what the actual issue is that we're going to be working on first. There might be some other issues that we could iron out today. I'm probably going to focus mostly on this. I don't know how long it's going to take me. Probably not overly long. Afterwards, I intend to work on the side-scrolling level design a little bit. So, if we go over here, we can see that these enemies, when I place them down, they are just like level with the ground, and what they do is they kind of work like thwomps from Mario, right? They rise up, allowing you to go under them, and then let's just play from here. Then they stomp back down and they deal damage if you touch the spikes. But if you look closely, and you can't really see it due to the camera right now, but you'll see that they clip into the ground, and that is because these work perfectly when their scale is equal to... No, they don't work perfectly when the scale is equal to 1. Huh. What do you know? Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And that's what we're going to be fixing here today. So, what we do is we go to the event graph and then we have this fucking mess to deal with. So, first and foremost, we have a couple of set playtime, set player rate, all that kind of good jazz. We don't really need to set the new time every single time if we just play from start instead of use play. That seems more reasonable, actually, now that I think about it. So, I don't think we need these set new time 0, actually, now that I think about it. So we can just get rid of that. That doesn't impact any of the performance of the actual object. But, so what we do is, right now, is I do this entire deal here. Which is overly complicated. I think I'm going to do the same thing that I've done with the other objects that I move from one place to the other, and that's just at the start we just set 2 coordinate values, one for that's way too loud, one for where it starts and one for where it ends, and then just move it between those two. That's a lot more reliable than the way that I'm doing it right now, and that should even work with its scaling, because where is the default scene route? I can't seem to find it. Where is it? Okay, that's definitely not in the place where I want it to be. So, we also definitely want to have this be there, right? That seems reasonable to assume. I think if I... Yeah, okay. So now it should rotate around its... It still rotated around... I think that fixed the entire issue. No, it did not. It still rotates the component, not the actual actor. That's what I wanted to know for sure. So this should be easy to fine-tune later on. So what we do is we make 2 new vector variables, and that's a start location. I said that's going to be a vector variable, and then we make one. That's definitely not what we want to do. And then we make one, and we call it move to location. We very easily just say at the start, set this value to get world location for the default scene route, because we're moving the entire actor. I think we're moving the entire actor. I fucking assume we do. Do we? Let's actually check that real quick. No, we only move the static mesh as it is. Is that a good idea or not? You know what? That actually probably doesn't matter too much. Does it? I don't think it matters. So let's keep things constant and just move the static mesh instead of the entire actor. That seems a lot more, well, a lot less troublesome, mostly, really. What I do wonder is, I have my computer set to go like a mid-last blue light after 8 p.m. Is that a monitor thing, or does it actually like start rendering colors differently? Like, did you guys just see a difference in color in the live stream? It's an interesting thing that I don't know anything about. So what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of vector math here. So vector plus vector, but we're going to split this structure in because we're going to add the move distance to the Z. And then promote that to move to location, or plug that into. It doesn't have to be promoted to a variable because I already made one. I'm such a clever boy. Okay, so now we have a move distance, which let's just set your default value to 500 because it's still at 0, and a move to location. So now what we do is we change, well, all this really, like all this can just go. And we go set. I'm wondering if I'm actually synchronized or not with my audio. If I'm not, I'm very sorry. I think I am. World location for static mesh. That's offset. That's not what I want. I want set world location for static mesh. There we go. And then we take move to location and start location, and we get a vector lerp. We can just do the alpha here. Return value will be this. Okay. This we can also simplify, I think. Like quite a bit. Because we can, instead of having different timelines doing different things, these are just for the rotation, right? Set relative rotation. So these have to stay. But then when they're finished, this won't play from start. Okay, that is a thing. Because we have a delay for staying. Let's just neaten this up a little bit so that we know what's going on there. I said a little bit, not a lot. Again, this just has to go because this is just not a reliable way to do things, apparently. This stays, but we're going to make this a little bit less cluttered by doing it like that. What's the difference between timeline 2 and 3? 2 goes from 0 to, I assume, 180? From 0 to 180, and this goes from 180 to 360, presumably, right? It does. That we can keep. Then we... Okay, no, so then we delay stay. We stay in the air for a while, right? And then we should just be able to reverse from end, I think, and just cut all of this out altogether, I think. Also, fuck off with your spam. Wait, am I not actually... I'm not logged into the right account, so I can't actually block things. Fuck. Doesn't matter that much. Also, you just got a glimpse at my desktop. I don't think there's anything incriminating on there. Maybe there is. I don't fucking know. I'd be shocked if there were. So yeah, so we just removed one delay, which might not be a good thing, but let's just see. Let's just see how this works now. We can just simulate. Okay, it doesn't go back up. Why is that? Because by all accounts, this should make it go back up. What? So it moves from start location to move to location, which is start location plus move distance. Move distance is 500 in this case. So that should make it move up, because that's how coordinates work. This alpha goes from 0 to 1, so that's not the wrong way around either. That sets the world location. Then we do a flip-flop for the rotation. Once that one is finished, you go back and you should reverse from end, meaning that you go from move to location to start location. The question is, why don't you? It goes down. It just goes down. It never goes up. Does it go up the first time? It's just we can't see because it does a loading screen. It does go up the first time. And that makes a lot of sense. Now that I think about it. That does make a lot of sense because it only gets triggered from play from start at begin play, and then it just gets into a loop where it reverses from end. So at that point we just add a flip-flop, right? We just add you into there, then do reverse from end, and we plug you back into play from start. And that should fix things in theory, I think. It definitely should not be flipping when it hits the ground. Like, that's a thing that we need to fix. But that seems to be a amazing improvement within like 15 minutes. And that's literally as easy as we add in a branch here, I guess, where it only goes into this flip-flop when is A is true. Let's see, where does A connect to? A connects to reverse from end. You know what? If this doesn't work one way around, it will work the other way around. That's just how this works. So if that's true, you go into that flip-flop. If that's false, you just immediately go into the delay. And that should just make it so that this works. Like, that should fix everything. Okay. We have to switch these around. Or you can also plug this into there, because that's not going to make it confusing at fucking all. And now they should only... I have no idea why this one is desynced with the rest, but I honestly don't really care. Probably because it's got different timing from the rest, right? Move distance 300. Delay stay is different. Yeah, the delay stay is different. So let's just, for my satisfaction, add this one back in here. then make them all at least roughly touch the ground. Something like that. And then let's see what happens if we do some scale increasing. Like if we make them 3 times as large. This is not a lot of fun to walk through, but it's mostly for testing purposes. It's entirely for testing purposes, really, but it should still... Yeah, it's fucking impossible to navigate because the hitboxes grow with it, obviously. So, this is obviously not something that you actually want to do at this size, but it works at that size, and that's the main issue, right? Before, it didn't work when you changed the size. Let's go like 1.3 for their size now. It scales from the ground position. It only thing that's real, well, not bad about it, but that I have to take a look at real quick is number 1. Where's... Oh, there you are. The move distance should be higher for these specific ones. Like 600, I think, is a lot better than 300. Because it feels like they're moving very, very slowly. But that's just a matter of... like I said last time with what's it called? With the camera system, it's... sometimes you make a system and it seems bad, but it's just because your use of the system is bad, not necessarily because the system you made is bad. And that's... As you can see right here, like it feels a lot better. This is still very easy to avoid, obviously. Also, I'll show you. If you're watching this, you get a little preview on the devlogs, which honestly, at this point, if you're watching these, you just might as well not watch the fucking devlogs at all. I didn't say that. You should definitely watch the devlogs. They're a lot of fun. But I made a couple of things, right? So I made this, which is just very easy, really. And then it goes back automatically. So now I can't go back on it. Yes, I know. But why the fuck would you ever want to go back? That's the question. And I made these. Platforms that fall down. The thing is, they don't really fall out from under you. They just take you down. Because that is how the physics calculation by default works in Unreal. I suppose I could just have a little bit of collision remain there for a split second afterwards, and then just remove that collision box so that you start falling, rather than moving down with the platform. As long as you don't fall faster than the platform falls. So, I think just having a kill plane under the platforms whenever I do that should be good enough. Like I could even make it so that it spawns a kill plane specifically under every platform, though I don't think that's particularly useful. So that's one of the issues that I had planned to fix today, already fixed. Like, it was very, very easy. And that was these fuckers, which, yeah, I know, are at some point going to need a real texture, because this is just honestly kind of embarrassing. So I guess let's take a look through all my other blueprints, because there's one other thing that I've been thinking about, right? And that is, let's go over there real quick. These guys. At the moment they're moving along a spline, and that is fine, I guess. But what I was thinking... And I need to like look into how to do it. But what I was thinking is I could also make an AI system instead. An AI system where if I place one of these, I can just place like a couple of any kind of actor really. They don't even have to be collision boxes, and just say move in sequence through them. And I think that would be a lot better, because that way it creates a much more dynamically usable thing, rather than having to fuck around with these splines. So I might want to do something like that at some point. For the time being, I think this works. But it seems like that might be a nice thing to do, because I could literally just like place like four different ones of those kind of acts and just say move to this, then that one, then that one, and then back to the first one. It wouldn't be that complicated to program something like that. As a matter of fact, it's probably easier than what I made here. The only downside is that it'll be more difficult to make him go in like nice curves, and he might have way more sudden movement changes, right? So that's not ideal. I also need to make something for these type of enemies, because at the moment they just disappear when they die, and with the enemy system as I have it in mind for this game, I can't really respawn them, because you get a collectible for killing every enemy in the game or in a level at the end of the level if you've done that. So I need to respawn a replacement that you can jump on, which has a similar effect. So I probably just need to make a separate version of this which has a like distinct visual to it, where it's like the ghost of the dragon which you can still jump on or something like that. That's something that I still need to do. But other than that, I think mostly everything I have at the moment just works, which is honestly kind of a miracle. Because I've got my platforming character, which has been changed around. I've got the coin, which definitely needs some visual changes. Yeah, I've got pretty much everything. I've already got an null actor actually now that I look at it. So I can just use that for this. Just add those into an actor array. Maybe we should try to do that instead of moving on with some level design. Should we? I don't know if we should. I think we do need to make a decision on this though, because otherwise I'm going to spend half of this stream just pondering things I could be making and could be doing. And obviously, that's not necessarily very productive. So, let's just go into level design, because that's something that I just like need to force myself to do. Because as much as I like IDs and programming these objects, the level design is definitely something that I have struggles with actually creating. It's very easy to play a level that somebody else made and point out what's wrong with it. It's much more difficult to make your actual own level. So let's just play through this one real quick. It would also mean that actually no. I was going to say, if I do the enemy based on an AI, it would also mean that the movement speed would be constant, but I can actually just make a variable for that as well. So at least I would have more control over it, rather than having to like fuck around with distance divided by speed or time. At the moment, it's done through time, because it's obviously a timeline. I could also just spice up some of the other... why did it just print a string? Why does it do that? Hold on. What the hell is printing a string? It does it every time I got up here. Is it the cam change? Do you still have a print string somewhere? Surely not. Would be start overlap. Yeah, no, that does not have a print string in it. What the hell has the print string? Is it you? Probably not, right? There's a lot of different duplicates of that actor. Yeah, no. What? How? I'm confused. No idea where that print string is coming from. That's definitely scary to do. Does it print the string when you... It has to be the cam change. And overlap? No. It has to be somewhere in... There we go! That must be it, surely. Yeah, it's gone now. The timings for these platforms do not match up at all. Which is because you have a time offset of 1, you have a time offset of 0. And that means you start here. So you should also have a time offset of 0. They should just, realistically, they should just both be 5 seconds, really. Actually, you are 4 seconds, you are 4 seconds. Actually, having hit this one in 6 seconds probably isn't a bad thing. Means that they don't actually, like, perfectly line up, but there is plenty of opportunity from one to jump onto the other. I think that's actually probably a pretty good thing. I don't know if the game itself is being laggy or if it's the actual object being laggy. I kind of hope it's just the game running in a non-build state that's doing that. I don't know if that's actually the case or not, though. And that definitely... Okay, something weird just happened there. We're going to have to figure that one out, because that does not seem right. And that is because... Okay. And now you're all the way back there. So you keep getting stuck in a loop, which you should not get stuck in. Let's go take a look. We have a component overlap. You do all this and then platform on track. Platform on track is set play rate, set new playtime, which is again altogether unnecessary because we don't need an offset, so we can just play from start. And then we... that makes a lot of sense, actually. So, first time we play through, we have the alpha go all the way, blah, blah, blah. Then we finish, we reverse from end. But then we... I think in this case, it is actually easier to just make a second timeline and set this one to 1. So let's set that one to... Oh, no. That one to 1 as a value. Set this one to 0. And then just, when that's finished, don't use that, but use this. And then just copy this entire setup. Copy this entire setup to there. This does not need to be a variable at all. You can just go straight into the loop. Same goes for this. This can just go straight into this loop. This can chill out down there. This one we put up there. Updates. And then when that's finished, nothing else has to happen other than... Yeah, no, nothing else has to happen. I could program in some fail-safes to where you can't trigger this box while this is happening, but you have to stay in the box for like 0.2 seconds anyway, which is not going to happen unless you have a platform to land on. So it's going to be real difficult to break that. That being said, you might want to have that be a little bit longer of... Oh my god, that's real fucking quick. How? What the fuck? That would be because... Why is that the case? I mean, we definitely want to have a set play rate for this one as well. Components, timeline 0. I really should name these. I really should. I will not. And this can be the same as that. Okay, I like this song. I like most of the music we're going to be hearing tonight. So why did it fucking zoom on its way back? That I still am very, very confused about. That's definitely not what I wanted to have happen. Let's play from here again. Okay. Normal speed. That's what I want. And normal speed. Slightly faster, I think, actually. That's still strange. That's the one we need. So we have... This is 1-1. Duration is... Why does it have a time offset value? Let's get fucking rid of that one as well. Because we ain't using that. Matter of fact, I don't think we're using any of these. We have current position with this, delta roll. We don't need any of these. Just delete that one, 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 delete that one. Do we actually use this one still? Find references. No references found. Delete it. And then we have alpha, which we don't need anymore. Yeah, these are the only 3 variables we need for this object. That's what you get when you copy and paste like another actor as the base for your new one. Is you get left with a lot of leftover variables if you don't actually delete them. And if you do that like 3 times in a row, what just ends up happening. So yeah, this works again. What we were doing actually was none of that. Is this the right way? Does that just fuck me over even more? I think that's about right. Yeah. I really should just have better posture. Yeah, I really should. Matter of fact, now that I've said that out loud, let's just sit up straight. I need a better chair is what I need. So I can move the cam back a little bit in that direction. Move it a little down, maybe. Maybe a little bit of tilt. Maybe a little bit of tilt. That seems about right. Okay, so let's go back to what we were doing. Which is... Actually, can you make this with a wall jump? You can't. Can you? You can. Okay, it just takes a bit of skill. Which is good. Having multiple different options there, based on skill level, is very much a good thing. So I wanted to test one thing, actually. I know I was going to work on this level, but this level scares me, so we're going to go back here. It's just that easy. And that is... this level is going to be relatively heavy in terms of like performance, because it's got all these insanely high resolution textures. Which is to say they're all 2K, but even those buttons back there are being rendered as being 2K, because otherwise they become fucking invisible. So what I want to do real quick is I want to... What do I want to do? I want to have a platform track. And I want to put some... let's go top perspective real quick. I just want to put a little bit of decoration to the left and right side. And maybe on top as well. Without any collision probably. Seems like the best idea to have it without collision. Then again, that's not how these work. So they're going to have collision because I'm too lazy to do anything else. Actually, I have a much better idea. I have a much better idea. And that is, I don't know if it's a much better idea, actually. Might not be. Let's go back into levels, computer world, one-dimensional level, and let's add a level sequence. And that is decoration blocks 1. Can't use spaces, I keep forgetting that. Decoration blocks 1. Which we'll just add that at the very start here. And put that in autoplay and loop indefinitely. And then we'll add some, we can just add some normal cubes, right? And then we pick the binary material for that. And we can just scale that the fuck up, is my idea there. And if we put those into the background, we can have a couple of them. We can have a fair number of them, as a matter of fact. Just put those over there. Can we tell you to have no collision on an actor by actor basis? It looks like we might not be able to. I mean, we can make a physics material probably and just say that it doesn't have any collision. But I don't think it really matters as long as nothing is colliding with it. It shouldn't really impact performance too much, I think. It's more so I hope, really. Let's put one over there, and let's put one a little bit more back there. Like blocks of data, right? Blocks of data. One over there. And we're just going to, somewhat willy-nilly, to be honest, just place them all about, and then just animate them a little. And then we can probably not have too many of them in the background of the puzzle, I imagine, because that would probably just be a bad idea for a number of different reasons. And we don't really... Actually, let's... We do see them in the background a little bit, right? I was thinking we don't really need any here because we're going to be looking in this direction. Can you see my cursor? You can. But you'll be able to see these blocks when you're walking here in the background, and that's probably going to add quite a bit of like epicness. Like even if we just play through it like this, right? We should feel like we definitely need some. Okay, they definitely need to be lower first and foremost. That's the first cube. They also need to be a little bigger. So let's go up to 15. Let's go up to 25. And then let's pull them down a little bit. And then create a couple more of them. And just like rotate these around a little bit. Like now really the issue becomes the collision. No, actually it very much does not. I lied to you. It's not a problem at all. How does this look? And how does it lag, more importantly? Oh, that's very confusing. That's very confusing for a moment, but it actually looks kind of neat. I don't know if it's too confusing. Oh yeah, that also definitely should be fixed now. But I quite like the look of it. Like, after the first little bit of confusion there, about what is foreground and what is background, you quite quickly realize that the the things in the background have very big textures, and the things in the foreground have very, very little textures. So I don't think it's... yeah, no. It actually... Yeah, it kind of... It kind of makes things a little too invisible. That's too bad, because I kind of like the look of this. I kind of like the look of it a lot. It's not too bad for the puzzle, actually. For the puzzle, it kind of works. That's the wrong one. I'm not going to go through the puzzle. It takes fucking forever to do so. So maybe just make some of them... The ones that become problematic can just be different colors, right? Because I've got binary material red as well. Which is a different size because I made it that way. That makes sense. Just add a couple blue ones in, add some red ones in that are farther back or something probably. The majority of them are going to remain green though, because that just makes sense in my mind. And I'm going to move them around a little bit as well, as I just said, because that's why I made the level sequence, right? To move these things around a little bit. Can I change multiple materials at the same time? That would be fan-fucking-tastic. I'm assuming I can. I have to be able to. I don't even think you ever see this one. Which is probably a good thing to keep in mind, because it still is taking up computing power. Let's make all of these blue. It made all of them blue. Definitely these two, this one. Let's make that one red as well. One of these, make them red. Oh, no. One's in the top, a couple here maybe, that deserve to be red. It's not what I wanted to select. They're kind of difficult to select, because you actually have to like select them on a part of the texture that's not transparent. Okay, let's walk through this. Oh, that's loads better. Like immediately, I love that. Like I actually kind of love this. If we just make this with the cubes like moving around a little bit and just like spinning and moving back and forth. That would be fantastic. It's going to take fucking forever to do so. But that would be great. Probably going to need more than one sequence though to animate all of them, because they need to be able to loop. And that's kind of a problem. So let's just get started with this one. That's not what I wanted to do. Select this one and open level sequence. What monitor is it? Oh, it's just going to open here. Let's put you down here. That should be fine. So everybody can see what I'm doing. And then just like add all of the cubes into it, which there's a fair few of them. So let's just add all of them in. And add a transform keyframe for... I would like to do it for all of them, to be honest, at once. Can I do that? I would very much like to add keyframe to everything. Key all. No? Does that work? When I... Nope, that does not work. Key group. I don't really want to put them into a group, because that's going to fuck things up a bit. Keyframes should be created when I move these things just like literally 1 pixel, right? Nope. Create a key by which channel property. Yeah, so this should create keyframes. It doesn't, but it should. Anyway, we need. Can I just no? I can't even do that. Okay, we're manually going to put in these keyframes because there's that actually kind of fucking sucks. I'm not gonna lie. Like is it too much to ask that if I have multiple object selectors and I just add a keyframe, that it adds a keyframe to all of those objects? Because in my mind, that just makes sense. That it would do that. But of course, it doesn't. Because that would be too logical altogether now, wouldn't it? So the question is, once I've placed these keyframes, does it automatically make other keyframes once I start moving things around? I fucking do hope so. I need a new mouse as well, because my scroll wheel's starting to die. I'm going to probably order one like upcoming week or the week after. Because 1, it's starting to annoy me. 2, I've just like all my clients are back in office, so invoices are starting to get paid again, so my money isn't like exactly running towards 0 anymore. Not to say that there's a lot to like spend, but enough for me to buy a proper mouse, and this time one that's like not just a 20 euro mouse, because that's the reason these things keep fucking breaking on me all the time, because I make a lot of kilometers scrolling like every day. Well, I don't think I scroll a kilometer every day, but I make a lot of distance. When I get the new mouse, I'm definitely going to install one of those programs which tracks like the distance you scroll, because I'm convinced that I probably scroll like a kilometer a week. I do a lot of scrolling. I scroll in some games that I play, sometimes, not really a lot. I scroll in Adobe Premiere, I scroll in After Effects, I scroll in Photoshop, I scroll in Unreal. Everything I do on my computer, I scroll when browsing the internet. Everything I do requires me to scroll quite a lot. So I think I actually do have a lot of scrolling happening here. I also keep forgetting to set this thing to fucking live chat instead of top chat. Not that it matters because nobody's watching. But okay, now let's set these to... How long do we want this loop to be? It's a good question. How long is the average playthrough of this level going to take? Probably like 3, 4, 5 minutes. So let's say we put you 600 frames in. We can always slow down later if we need to. It's just making the animation close to what it's actually going to be means that you have a little bit easier time controlling that time dilation. And then we need to... Hold on, is there an option for like loop and reverse? Loop indefinitely, don't loop, loop exactly. Restore state, what does that mean? Like you should specify whether actors should be restored and stop. It doesn't say anything about reversing the actual timeline though. So we're just going to put a keyframe on 1201, not on 1200 exactly. And we're going to be adding a shit ton of keyframes again. You might be wondering why 1201, by the way, because if I did it on 1200, it would like stay still for a frame and you could definitely like more easily see the loop. And I don't know if I'm going to care for that or not, because it's probably just going to be a lot of moving up and down and back and forth, if I'm being honest with you. Because these are like 30 objects, and I'm not going to individually like curve them in such a way that they loop back in on themselves, because that would be fucking insane. Could do it. Like you just make an endpoint and then curve the or a middle point rather, and then you just curve the end and the start to not be the exact same path. And it seems like you've done a lot more work than you actually have. But it actually does require some different kind of work, and I don't really feel like doing that, because these are just background elements. At some point I may, but that is something that I say about things that I don't want to do. Is at some point I may do this, so I have plausible deniability when I don't fucking do it. Because I'm a lazy piece of shit. Which is not true, by the way. I'm not lazy today. The fact that I'm streaming now is a testament to that, because I woke up at 10. Well, I woke up at 9, but I started working at 10. And then I didn't stop until 6. I mean, I had a lunch break and stuff in there. Obviously, I took a shower. But I did like quite a lot of work, and then when that finished, I started uploading my own Let's Play videos. And then when that finished, I started this stream, and now we're about an hour into this. And once I end this, I expect that it's going to be time for me to like watch like a YouTube video or two, maybe watch a movie, and then just fucking go to sleep, because me is a very tired boy. This is not being made more easy by the fact that I'm forcing myself to do this on one monitor and with a mouse that is absolutely fucked. So, okay. Moment of truth is this does have to be exactly 600. Well, it doesn't have to be yet, but I would like it to be. So if we take this one and we move you up a little, that does not create, I repeat, that does not create a new keyframe. Which is really fucking annoying. Transform, like, let's also change the rotation a little bit. What does this look like? That's about fine, really. Okay, we're going to individually do this for all of them. So I hope you don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon, because you guys aren't leaving until I do. A lot of these you probably don't even... Okay, you do that first and then set a keyframe. Point taken. Maybe I'm going to curve some positions here, because this does not actually look all that good. Again, this one doesn't really matter that much, so let's just maybe set this one to there. Let's keep it out of the path of the camera though. And then set the rotation to something interesting maybe. The fact that they all start the way they start right now is kind of annoying. Because it's going to be kind of a bitch to as far as rotation goes. It's going to be kind of a bitch to change that, because wait, what? I need to individually change the first and last keyframes for that, and that's just annoying. Talking about annoying, we have a location keyframe here. Why aren't you cooperating? It's because it's the wrong track, that's why. That makes a lot of sense. And then we rotate you around a little like that, and we rotate you around a little like that. Maybe even a little like that, because I'm feeling weird. And we have you You know what? You can actually move a lot more on rotation than you are right now. Because right now, you are not really doing that much. We're going to be real with you. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. Now I just need to do that like 30 more times. Do I see any of these? I don't think I see any of these. Oh, I saw one there. Oh yeah, but not in a good way. Like very much not in a good way. Like this one needs to be changed. That's not where I want you to be at all. Like you're actually overlapping the level. Could be cool if we had one that just like traveled like all the way like that. Maybe. That could be cool. Maybe. Could be? Would it be? Would that be like nice or something? Probably. Let's see. The first one that we animated, we just straight up do not see, which is probably something that I should have taken into account. You know what? If we see these blocks flying through each other all the time, I think that would also be kind of neat. So let's do a little more of that. Select this one. Select that one. And then just move that like all the way the fuck over there. Rotate you a couple of times that way, a couple of times that way, like a little bit more that way maybe. Bit like that, and then especially if they start moving through each other a lot, it's going to be very hard to like track one of them specifically, which is going to make it very easy for me to make this look good, or like absolutely chaotic and just very, very bad. Probably both. It can't be both. You can't be looking good and bad at the same time. That's just not how that works. Bit of that. We just add a keyframe. Fuck! No. To this one. We add a keyframe to you. No. We add a keyframe to... No. We add a keyframe to you. Which one is it? That one. Okay, so in the future, we're going to add the keyframe first, then change all of the transform properties. And then add that keyframe back in again. I don't know if it actually stores the multiple rotations or not. I kind of hope that it does, otherwise... Does it? Does it? Certainly feels like it does. Yeah, that feels like it does. That's fine. You're next. Am I doing this entirely at random? G would give that away. It's a thing that does need to be done though. So might as well just like do it on the live stream with a bit of music. Because that makes it a little more bearable, maybe? See. Yes. You know what? We're going to do this the other way. We're just going to do this by clicking on things on the timeline and then seeing where they are in the world, rather than the other way around. It seems a lot easier to deal with. Especially the further we get into things, the easier it's going to be to spot which ones we have and have not done. And I'm getting a little bit faster at things as well, I think, so that's good. Again, very much doing this at random. But let's just play through this at the moment and see what this feels like. Once we start to... I actually don't hate it. Like, there's actually... the entire thing here is that it has to feel a little like... Okay, that still has to be fixed. A little like we're walking through the Matrix, kinda. And that certainly is a feeling that I am getting here. Okay, that definitely should not be that close to the camera, maybe. And neither should that... Okay, and they have collision. I forgot about that for a moment. Yeah, they should just never intersect with anything on the course. And also just not be that close to the camera, all things considered. So... let's just go through everything that we have so far, I guess, and try to fix that a little bit, because we still have these tangents, right? Do we have tangents in the real world here? I don't think that we do. And that's annoying. Well, that means you are moving up and that away, because otherwise you intersect too much. Where is this cube? This cube just has to move more that way to begin with. Transform. Then we collapse you back down. Cube 20. More up. Maybe a little bit more. Let's say you can stay there as far as height goes. Then definitely this one needs to be a little bit higher up as well. I don't know if I'm just removing them all from sight at this point, though, is the issue, right? This one definitely does not intersect to begin with, so that one is fine. This one... maybe move it a little bit more like that. This one doesn't have any movement at all yet. So let's just move this one up and down. How about that? We also need some simple movements. Just one that moves a little up and down. That's fine. They don't all need to be crazy. And then this one we can just move left and right. Especially since it's behind the maze. Or the puzzle, rather. When we can just move, like... we can move it quite a bit, don't get me wrong. But it doesn't need to do anything crazy. This one we'll make do... we'll make crazy things happen with, probably. Something like that, and then a little bit more rotation. Seems about right. What does that feel like when we do that? That feels... yeah, maybe a bit too much. Not gonna lie. But it doesn't matter altogether that much. We want to be at 600. Do we want to be at 600? We can just animate some of these to move differently later on as well. For the time being, I think we're going to just stick to everything moving in unison, which is going to look real stupid in a moment here, I am aware. That intersects with the actual camera, so we don't want to have that happen. You're actually going to rotate a little as well. And let's do a little like this too. Cube 29. This one we can just move up and down again, I think. That'll be fine. Cube 30. This one is very much a background element. That needs to move the fuck away from the camera first and foremost. So let's just move this back and forth towards there. This one can rotate a little more maybe. Something like that. Tiny bit around its own axes as well. And then that should be more or less fine, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. If nothing else, it should only overlap the camera, which means that we see the back face, which means that we see nothing. I don't know how the blooming I have with the emission interact with that though, so that might be slightly problematic. Let's just make one that moves back and forth and spins around itself. That seems fun. And then we have this one, which we can make move a little like that. And then like that, maybe? Seems maybe a bit much, but we can always dial things back a bit, right? Don't be afraid to be a little weird. But don't make it too weird. No, that's not what I wanted to do. At all. I wanted to place that keyframe. Burping. Where's 35? That's 35. That one, let's actually just make that move back and forth and rotate just... Oh, we could scale things as well. Do we want to do that? I don't think we want to do that. That's the thing. Maybe we do want to do that. I don't know. Why the fuck is there a keyframe all the way over there? We'll get to it. I have an itchy nose. Yeah, we're doing this. So let's just make things move a little bit. These are some things that we're probably going to see right around start as well. So maybe make the movement for these a little less crazy so that you can like get used to it a little bit as you start up the level. This is either going to be so fucking cool or people are going to have such bad headaches because of this. Let's keep this one at this side actually, because we're going to see it in the background most likely. This we can move just a little bit like that. That should be cool. That should be good. Should be real good. This, I have no idea why that's there. Which cube is that even? It's that one. Okay, so it does have movement. That's all I needed to know. Cube 39. Something a bit like that. Yeah, things are moving probably just a bit too much in unison, but maybe once you're running through the level, it doesn't feel as bad. And they don't all have to move, right? Maybe they even shouldn't all move. Okay, I was looking too much at the background, which is fair, because that's what we're working on at the moment. Oh, there's actually... Oh, I like this. It's also maybe just a little chaotic, but I think that might be what I like about it in the first place. Yeah, no, I think this is kind of cool. It definitely should be... Oh, that feels scary. That definitely does feel scary, because I think that can push you off. Okay, so one of those two in the background there definitely does need to move a bit more. And this still is very hard to see. And those need to be changed as well, okay? But by and large, I think I like the look of this. Okay, we definitely need... You know what? This one? You know what we do with that? You know what we do with that? We just fucking yeet it. This... Just go. Just goes. So I think most of them are going to have to move in one way or another. But let's see which ones cross the actual... Okay, so there's quite a few that cross. This one, I think, is problematic. So let's not have that one make it across and instead just move it over there. I think that'll be a much better alternative. I don't know why you are not moving though. You're not right? No, you're not. Okay, 600. And now that we have this, actually, we can see things a little more easily. Rotate things around a bit. Only really rotate them in one direction though, because we are in an orthographic view. It's a very good point. Some of them may only have to rotate as well. That's a very good point that nobody said but me. Just having a couple rotate, also having a couple of these with different materials probably wouldn't hurt. Like most of them still do have to be green, but having some around here which are maybe red, that's definitely not material R. Then having this one and this one maybe be blue. Probably not an unnecessary luxury. Yeah, so let's just... This one just rotates. It just rotates in place. Let's see how that looks. Like it can rotate a little bit more than the rest of them. For that reason, I think. You can move a teeny tiny bit like that. They also generally probably move too fast. I recognize that. We're going to fix it in a moment. Let's move you just back and forth a little like this. Maybe a tiny bit of rotation, but not too much. Let's rotate in 2 axes though, just because that looks a lot more satisfying and advanced. You're just going to cross in a very similar way to the other one I just did. But you're going to rotate in different axes, so that should make you distinct enough. Okay. Why are you not at 600? Really doesn't matter that much. You can very easily drag the keyframes around, but I just think that things should be at 600. So let's go back to... No, let's go back to... Almost. And change the play rate to 0.5. And see how this feels. Definitely still need quite a few there that don't move at the moment. Oh no, they do move. They just move very, very slowly, which actually makes things probably a lot better. Yeah, the fact that they move a lot slower actually makes things so much better. Yeah, I like this. They don't all have to move either, right? That's fine. Are you going to push me off? That's the question. Looks like you might. Don't think you will. It looks like you're not going to. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I think my whole Matrix type ID, especially when you're in this perspective, dude, it's absolutely fucking insane. And now with less green as the background, I think it works a lot better. Again, it might be slightly too busy, is the only thing that I'm worried about. Like, visually speaking, it's very, very noisy. Which might not be great. But it does fill up the level a lot, and I kind of love the look of it. So I'm going to, like, let test players give their opinion on this, but by and large, I don't look forward to taking this out, honestly, because this is really fucking cool. And it also contrasts nicely between, not always, between the platforms that I'm walking on and the actual background. Especially in this part also looks really fucking cool, but again, very, very fucking noisy is the main problem with it, right? So let's see. I've forgotten the solution to my own fucking puzzle, which isn't great. Anyway, so then we jump down there, we die, and we get reset back to our spawn point, which is... I think the decorations for this are good as they are. And surprisingly not tanking my fucking frame rate too much. Let's show FPS frame rate. Where are you? Show FPS. At the moment it's running between like 30 and 40 or so FPS, and that's with me streaming as well. And while I'm in game, it goes up back to 60. And that's in a level where you can't even fucking jump. So it doesn't even matter if your jumps are timed poorly, because you can't time something that you can't do. So I would consider this to be an absolute win. Then again, like the fact that I'm using so many 2K textures that are not being scaled down might be very heavy, but then again, everything you're seeing that's black is just pixels that do not have to be rendered. So... And I don't even have a ridiculously large, like, video memory, because I have a 2060, which means I have 6 gigabytes of video memory, which is probably like... I'm going to assume most people have a card with 4 gigs, but that's probably going to be changing over the next couple of years anyway, because better cards are becoming more... As the GPU shortage ends, hopefully at some point in the future, with more RAM, should become more available to people too. I used to have 8 in the less powerful card, but I used to have more RAM, which is actually kind of annoying for the purposes of doing like pre-rendered shit, because it doesn't compress down the textures as much. So you need a lot more RAM. Video RAM, that is. I have 64 gigs of normal system memory. Yeah, okay, no, I like this. This is cool. This is fucking sweet. Maybe I will scale them all down just a little and not do it within the sequencer, actually. Let's just exit out of the sequencer so that I don't accidentally fuck anything up. I'm going to scale them all down a little bit, probably making things a little less noisy, right? So let's go back to like 18 in scale, see what that feels like. I think that may have been a bit of an improvement, giving me a little bit more black space. I like how specifically, like, it's above me where all the visual noise happens. I'm just going to stay here for a while and see if this thing manages to knock me off. So, when I sit back, you can't really see me too well on the face cam, can you? You can also see how unmade my bat is, which is fucking great, because why would you make the bat if you're just going to unmake it when you start using it again? I've never understood that. Because... No, really, why would you ever do that? Like, putting on new fresh sheets, you make the bat. Because at that point, you're already doing, like, a chore. But... and you go just over top. Please, like, after you leave the bed, like, making the bed, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you have so much time in your life? I'll give you one thing, if you have pets, maybe you don't want to have them, like, jump into the sheets or something, right? Like, a curious cat can probably be a bit of a problem with that. I definitely should disable cast shadows for for all those axes. That's going to even improve my frame rate more. But it also just, I don't want those ones and zeros casting shadows over me. Lighting, cast shadow. Does that disable it for all of them, or do I need to do it individually? It disables it for all of them. I am so fucking happy right now. And suddenly my FPS goes up to like 70 FPS in this level. So yeah, I was kind of afraid for my frame rate here. Turns out there was no need there to be afraid, because it just works. Okay, finally let's actually put these down where they should be. Which is right about here. Those are going to look different as well eventually, once I've got wireframe models for them. Now, the only thing is that this used to work differently, so I'm actually going to change the move distance to a vector. That's a very good thing that we figured this out right now. So this move distance is going to change into a vector. It's generally a good thing to do anyway. Change variable type, I am aware. Okay. Stomp enemy. Recombine structure pins. There we go. Because now when we go back there, and obviously move distance, the default value for this should still be about 500. And then we can see, like, this is the Y position, is the green one, I think, right? Y position. So we want to move distance Y. This one has to be 0. And this one has to be from -600 to, like, has to be about 1,000. Let's see, delete these. Let's see what that looks like when we simulate. Just a little bit more. Let's say that becomes like 1400. And its play rate is times 4. Nope. Wait, does it become slower when I increase it or faster? Okay. You can move a little bit more over there and then decrease this to like, I don't know, fucking 900? Yeah, no, that definitely needs to be more as well. But that doesn't need to go all the way over there either, right? Just going over there should be good enough. And then we go back to 1,000. seems like my hunch for 1,000 was just about right, because it wasn't a hunch. I literally just moved the thing around and saw it change 1,000 units, so... Oh, but for that you probably want to have a double rotate. I'm not going to bother with that. You probably do want to have a double rotate for that one, but it's probably going to be one of the very few instances where you do. Also, start delay 0.5, start delay 0.2, sure. And start delay, let's make this 0.8 or something, just so that they're not exactly synchronized. Just making them feel a bit more difficult. Yeah, I think this level is finished for the time being. And it actually doesn't run horribly. I mean, in the level preview, it definitely does run horribly. I'm down to 20 FPS. But the moment I start playing, it runs at 60 to 70 FPS. So, I don't know what to say. That's good for me. I like that. Still don't quite understand why those don't sync up. Gonna be real with you. It doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. It's just annoying. It's just really annoying. So am I going to actually go back into the 2D level and do some level design for that? I'm inclined to say no, because just looking at this fills me with joy, and the 2D level fills me with a lot of dread, honestly. So you could just make these little gates here instead. That's a thing we could do, because that's not something that we really... Yeah, let's do that, actually. That's a really good idea. Geometry, box... I was originally going to make this in Blender, but there's just literally a cube with a cube like booleaned out of it. So I really have no reason to just not make them right here, right now. It's going to be a little iffy working with this for a second. But we'll get there. Once we've made one, we can just copy paste, so don't worry. They don't have to be the exact same dimensions, only roughly. Maybe it doesn't even have to be a gate. Maybe it could literally just be a cube with this texture and just have it be like red, the red one. That could probably be good enough, honestly, now that I think about it. We can say fuck you to that one. And then... let's try making it a gate anyway. Just because that feels better for me. Can we do an inset? Can we do an extrude inward like this? Is the question. I mean, we can. And then we can maybe... scale this face down? Is that a thing that we can do? Not really, it seems. Oh no, we can. We definitely can. Oh, hold on. Hold the fuck on. We could have just done that here. Like, we can just go at it. Scale. No, we cannot actually do that. Never mind. Extrude inwards, add it, scale, and then move it all the way to the back. That's not exactly how I imagined it would look like, but I think this might just work. So, you know what? If it works, it ain't fucking stupid. And we'll do just fine with that. So create static mesh and set it to material red binary. And then just go to top view. Where the fuck is it? It's all the way over here, I think. There we go. And then we can just copy and put one over there. And copy and no. And copy. I said fucking copy. Dude. Wait, where is it? Oh. Do I have like 5 overlapping now? No, I don't. That's good. Copy and put one over there. And copy and put one over there. And then, nope. Copy all of those. Rotate them around 180 degrees. I said rotate them around 180 degrees. I hope that's in the fucking right direction, otherwise I'm gonna lose my shit. Line them up. I was gonna say roughly, but actually kind of need them to be lined up. Not perfectly, maybe, but I think that's good enough. Yeah, that's definitely not good enough. That's more like it. Those cubes are gone. I don't know where this cube is. That's that one. That's that one. Okay, that's a start. How many of those do I need over there also for of each? Okay. So we're going to copy these over in pairs. I think that's the most efficient way to do this. And then we're going to place these over there. I might actually just straight up end up making a wireframe gate in Blender anyway. Because these might end up looking really fucking bad. I assume that they will. Let's do a quick playthrough with it. Maybe they don't actually look horrible. You'll definitely be able to see the enemy spawning, and that keeps happening a lot. And it's kind of annoying. Yeah, you don't really see them too well because of the whole background thing. Yeah, I think this is too visually noisy. Like it looks pretty good from that direction. Let's see how they look in the other place. Because the answer might literally just have more blue in the background there rather than a red. It might be more of an art direction thing. Is that really art direction? I'm gonna call it art direction because I don't know what the fuck else to call it. Takes a while to get to the other place. It feels like it looks better here, but let's wait until we're actually close up with it. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Okay, so... Let's open this level sequence again so that we can see where things move. This one doesn't move. Anything that moves across needs to be blue. So that's this one needs to be blue. Or green, actually. But let's stick with blue for now, because otherwise we're probably going to have some trouble with other things. see, that's blue. This one becomes blue. Okay, that should fix that. Hopefully. Maybe not. Same here. This feels like it'll be in the background for that. So let's make you blue as well. I think that's the one that I was having trouble with before. Nope. There is this one too, which we have to make blue. It's better, but still not good. I think what I need to do is make the platforms slightly opaque. So if we go into the texture map for that, which I should have right over here, this texture over here, right? Yeah. That's just a mask that I'm using. But we can probably emissive opacity mask, yeah. But if we just put in a color parameter that's like gray, just make it saturation 0, and then just make it like a darkish gray like this. And then like just add them. Maybe that'll work. I don't know how that'll work. We're gonna see. Why are you back to green? That's not what I wanted you to be. Saturation 0. Like this literally doesn't matter because it's only looking at this value over here. Yeah, you should be without a doubt not doing what you're doing. Because if I use this in opacity mask instead, you're 100%... What? That makes sense, actually. That does make sense. So let's make this a parameter and see if we increase this to like 0.2. What does it do? Not an awful lot is what it does. Doesn't really have a gradual... Okay. Okay. We can still use this to make like a gray base color. Which isn't really going to change anything about the fact that this does not work the way we want it to do. I don't know enough about Unreal's material system to figure this out. I think what I want is to have just like this as a slightly transparent. If we make this a translucent instead. And then we... Can we just like do something with mask? That's a start. And then emissive color, can we just like do that? And then just only use the green, and then we have what we need, right? Not quite. This doesn't work, right? Does it? I mean, it does work. It's not the way I need it to. Unless... Can we also combine these, maybe? No, I just need to make this a parameter. Let's just make this easy for the time being and make this parameter at like 0.6. I don't know if this is going to nuke my frame rate, by the way. It might. RGB. Split. No. Look, this is white, so it has a red, a blue, and a green channel that are maxed out. That's what I need to use. I don't know why. Only using a green channel should just give me green. But look, guys, that's how that works. But it's not. It's not doing that. Because it knows it's only a red channel, so it's only giving a black and white output. Okay. RGB curve, maybe? Do you have separate RGB? Fucking... I thought Blender was bad. Color. Desaturation, linear to RGB, or as RGB rather. So I just say this. Fucking that. Yeah, no, of course it doesn't work. This is where we take Google. We go Unreal. Separate RGB. I just need you to tell me what the thing is called that I need. Yeah, it's white. Good. That means it has red, blue, and green data in it. That's how that works. That's Yeah, that's, I know. I just need you to tell me how to fucking separate those. Why the fuck would you not do that inside of a material editor? This is honestly just bullshit. The tutorial is very well done. But the way Unreal seems to handle these separate values is kind of BS. Okay. Control Alt for more. Material function expresses allows you to use external material for yeah, okay. So, can we say, for instance, this probably doesn't work that way, but it's worth giving it a quick check. So if we say just checking, right? If I make this one white, I'm gonna lose my shit if this is the case. If I make this one white and I just drag this into the base color, don't fucking tell me you become green. Well, at least you're consistent. But by all accounts, I maintain that if you have an RGB value and you take only RG or B, it should still output a vector with the other two just at 0, rather than just outputting a float value. Because why the fuck would I ever... I have an idea. RGB. That's not what I want. There has to be a way to append. Is it right? That's what it is? Append? Append vector. So... is that what we need to do? Is just like say, oh, parameter A, and then we append that again, because why the fuck would we? This is probably not going to work. But it's worth a shot, because now it's a vector, and it's green. Okay, that's bullshit that you have to do that. Like, that's actual real bullshit. So if I plug this right into here, that just works straight away. So if I say linear to RGB, to sRGB, I'm sorry, and plug that into there, that doesn't do what I wanted to do, right? No, it does not. Does not do any such thing. So I found a fix to my problem. So that's fucking nice. Now let's make that emissive instead. And make the base color this. Okay. Definitely want the See, now the issue becomes Maybe it doesn't. Multiply A by B, and B becomes a parameter. And that parameter is just like times 3. See what that does. I mean, it's not great, but it helps with clarity as far as... We probably just need to make these two different materials, I realize now. So this can be binary green platform, and then we can make another one that's just what we wanted it to be before, which is masked. We yeet all of this away, and we say you are the opacity mask and you are just like pure green. And you are the emissive color. Right, that's how that works. And we can just select all these cubes now. And they're easier to select because they don't have an opacity mask, which makes them fucking impossible to actually click on. And we can all make these... is that all of them? That's not all of them. We can make all of these... binary. It's the wrong way around, but that does... Oh no, it's not the wrong way around. I just didn't name them yet. That's fine. And going back into this material, maybe we want to make this a little bit more dark. Maybe that'll help make it look a little bit better. Mostly what I'm looking for is creating contrast. That does not really help at all. This might be a decent middle ground though. You can look through it. There is a clear... Oh, that definitely needs to be changed. There's a block over there that has not been... There we go. I said... I would very much like to click on you, sir. Why won't you let me? No, really, why the fuck? What the fuck? Dude. Highly not cool. Which one is it? Yeah, so that's a bit of a problem. Oh, there we go. Once you have that material. So part of the issue is also with the post-processing, I realize now. Because the moment I go back into that... So if we go post-processing volume, I think that's this one. If we go into the color grading and then the shadows, I assume? No, maybe global. Where do I have that set? Midtones? No. Gamma? Yeah, gamma for the global is a little high. So if we go back to the shadows, enable gamma there, and just fucking just yeet it down. Like, something along those lines. Right, let's see. The issue is actually not that. So let's change this back to 1. Because that certainly is not what I needed to do. Let's change these back to 1 for a moment as well. Just to see what this looks like. It's actually kind of cool as well. The thing is, I don't want this to be white. Because it doesn't look good. Doesn't create any nice contrast with like the illuminating blackness. Maybe the issue is just that the opacity needs to be like 80%. That definitely seems like it'll do a lot better, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that might be it. Maybe we just need to go full like 100% opacity. How about we try that? 90? $100? Just 100% opacity? I know that's not how translucent materials work in these games, but might be all we need, sadly. It does seem a lot better. I'll be real with you. I think this does function a lot better. Not sure if I'm a fan of how the post-processing looks with the gamma turned back down. So we're definitely going to look into turning that back up in a little bit. Then again, this is not necessarily bad, especially if you want to have a bit more of a Matrix-like feeling. This might actually work better than what we had before. I'm not sure. This specifically is absolutely... It does make the colors pop a lot more if you don't pump the gamma up so much, and I think that actually kind of works to our favor in this case. Oh, that's my bad. Anything that happens is my bad, either as the player or as a developer, so don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. Let's see. Let's put the gamma up to like 1.3 instead, of like 1.55 or whatever it was, just to boost it a little bit, but not too much. And I think that actually kind of works. I still don't know why sometimes textures fucking overlap randomly a little. But that's fine. I think we can leave it off here for today. I think we've made something work here, which was kind of neat before, but it's just really cool now. Honestly, I actually think this is pretty cool. I was a little doubtful about this at first, like before I started the stream. I didn't even plan to do this in this stream. But it actually ended up working very, very well, and I am actually just kind of excited for this. It's really difficult to see those enemies right now, but again, those enemies are going to be changed. Those enemies are going to be changed into wireframe versions of themselves. It does make this a little bit more tricky to see, but not that much. Like it doesn't look the way I exactly like imagined it or wanted it to look like. But let's see what this looks like in like full pop-out mode, right? Because that's what we need to know what it looks like in like full resolution, without me dying, preferably. So let's try again. Okay, maybe not. Let's just play from there instead. You know, that kind of works. Okay, so full resolution, what does this look like? I mean, it works. And I think that's the most important thing. Is it perfect? Maybe not. It's not what I had in mind. But sometimes you also just kind of need to accept the fact that you are working with a game engine that has limitations sometimes, right? If everything could look as I wanted it to look in my mind, I would have the best looking game in the universe. But you're limited at what you can do, so I guess this is not too bad of a compromise, really. It's definitely not what I needed to do. So yeah, I've forgotten the solution to my own fucking puzzle again. Doesn't matter. Don't want to show the solution on screen anyway. At the moment, I've probably already shown it like 5 times on screen, but you'll have to go dig for it, and that's like if you're really that desperate for the answer, you kind of deserve to find the answer. Okay, so let's see. Can we can hardly notice going in. Ah, no, you can definitely notice going in and out of the post-processing. The colors are more vibrant outside of it, though. Maybe the vibrant colors are actually kind of neat to have. I'm not entirely sure. As of right now, we're going to end the stream. The webcam is over there. So maybe if I have some more time later this week, we'll actually get to the 2D level. But other than that, I fixed some issues. And things work. Maybe we'll do some... definitely not that. We'll definitely not be doing any of that. Because this is going to probably get me copy striked real bad. Yeah, okay. We just entered the Little Mermaid portion of the playlist anyway. So, maybe we'll do a live stream where I work a little bit on the Thai project, chopping. Because we need to work on that as well. Because I think with the technique that I use here for the stomp enemy, I can also fix the issue I was having with that game. Like a month ago when I started on that, and I ran into an issue, and then I didn't continue on it at all. So we'll see. I'm going to end the stream now. So see ya. That's the wrong button. Where do I need to go? Hold on. Is it this? Is it this page? It's this page. See ya. Oh, okay.